Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mark Blair, and I am the Executive General Manager of the Superannuation Trustee Office, and also a Director of your trustee, that's Equity Trustee Superannuation Limited, or ETSL. And I'm going to be your host for the meeting today for the University of New South Wales Professorial Superannuation Fund. So off screen, but with me today, are all of the directors of the ETSL board, the auditor of the fund, that's Adam Kuzo from Deloitte, and the actuary of the fund, Saffron Sweeney from Aon. So our meeting today is scheduled to go for about 30 minutes. We'll have several presentations followed by a question and answer session at the end. And we'll try to answer questions that have been submitted up to today or lodged online during the meeting, time permitting. So before we commence the presentation, it's just a couple of housekeeping issues. Should you be having any technical difficulties, please call Redback, which is our webcast provider, on the number shown on the screen. And at any time during today's meeting, you can lodge questions online, and just please click on the blue hand icon on the top right-hand corner of your screen. Once you've done so, simply enter your question and press submit. I just need to say, of course, that the information we present you today is just general information, doesn't take into account your personal objectives or financial situation. But please contact the fund's customer service team, again on the number shown, for further information, such as the fund's annual report and financial accounts for the year ending 31st December 2021. So your trustee is part of Equity Trustees, and our business is being a specialist trustee, and we've done so since 1888 when we were established as an independent trustee firm. And being a trustee is actually all that we do. Our focus is to ensure that the fund is sustainable for the future. This means that the fund is invested appropriately and in conformity with the fund's investment strategy. Its service provisions meet the needs and expectations of our members, and that the members' benefits are adequately funded. These have been and remain the key priorities for your trustee. So we have dedicated specialists within our trustee team who supervise areas of investment, insurance and operational performance. And ETL's trustee office is one of the largest superannuation trustee teams in Australia, and that provides us with the resources to provide leading oversight of the fund and to protect the interest of members. So I want to remind you that as your trustee, we're here only to protect your interest. If you've got any concerns about your superannuation or the way in which it is being managed, please contact the fund and reach out to us if you're unable to resolve your concern. Finally, on behalf of the Trustee Board of Directors, thank you for joining us today. We do value the trust you place in us as a trustee of the fund, and will continue to work on your behalf. So turning to an overview of the fund is a defined benefit fund with 73 members as at the end of 2021 and total assets of a little over $30 million. All but one of the members now remaining are receiving pensions, and an average age of 84 of the membership, and an annual pension payments being almost $4 million per annum. Importantly, to ensure the ongoing financial position of the fund is maintained, contributions continue to be paid by the employer in accordance with the actuary's recommendations to maintain a satisfactory financial position. A review in June 2021 of the fund investments did result in changes to the investment strategy, with the majority of money now being invested in Vanguard index funds, with just a small amount of 2.5% invested in cash to ensure that we can pay pensions. So in conjunction with your trustee ETSL, there are a number of other service providers that ensure the successful delivery of outcomes to you, our members. It's ETS's role to act on your behalf to ensure all of those parties provide a quality service at a reasonable price. The slide on the screen details who some of these entities are and what role they play. So IRES are the administrator. That means they do things like answering member calls, responding to your inquiries and implementing all member transactions. KPMG are the asset consultants of the fund, and they provide advice on the fund's investment strategy. Deloitte are the fund auditors, and Saffron Sweeney from Aon is the appointed fund actuary. And that's a good segue for me to now pass over to Saffron to provide an update from her as the fund actuary. Thank you, Saffron.
Thank you, Mark. As mentioned by Mark, I am the appointed actuary, and I have been since May 2018. The appointed actuary aims to serve members' interests by ensuring the financial solvency of the fund whilst meeting all relevant regulatory and legislative requirements. My team and I value the liabilities, which are the pension payments and expected expenses. We project these and then come up with a present day value on a quarterly basis. As we are projecting into the future, we need to set a number of assumptions, such as the likely investment returns on the assets and rises in professorial salary, which is used to determine the pension payments. We determine what the funding position is by looking at the liabilities and current assets at the annual and triennial actuarial investigations. There's a shortfall limit where assets can fall, in this case, to 97% of liabilities without needing urgent action if the situation relates to investment market movements and is expected that the fund will get back to 100% financial position within a year. However, if the position is worse, then immediate action between these investigations is required. The contribution recommendation is reviewed on a yearly basis to ensure that the assets and contributions will be adequate to meet pension payments and expenses. The most recent recommendation was that the university pay contributions at a rate of 0.3125 of professorial salary per quarter from 1 April 2021 and was confirmed in the annual actuarial investigation as at 31 December 2021. And this is to continue until the end of 2022, where it will then be reviewed again. The appointed actuary provides the administrator with information to complete quarterly APRA reporting and is required to report to the trustee and the regulator in certain circumstances. The most recent actuarial investigation was an annual investigation at 31 December 2021. We were able to confirm that there is a high probability that the 72 pensioners currently in payment will be able to be paid, as required under the fund's governing rules, once we consider the assets and the recommended contributions. The assets, net of operational funding reserve, were $32.5 million, which was higher than the present value of expected future pension payments of $28 million and the present value of expected future expenses of $1.9 million, resulting in total liabilities of $29.9 million. When we look at the index of assets to these pension liabilities, that is, without considering future expenses, we compare that to the shortfall limit, and the fund was sitting at 116%, which is comfortably more than the 97%. And we also look at the total liability index, that is, including the expected future expenses, which was also healthy at 108.5%. And with that, I would now like to turn back to Mark Blair.
Thanks, Saffron. I've always wondered what actuaries do, and that was a terrific explanation. So that brings us to the end of the presentation and gives us some time to respond to some questions which you've provided. We'll provide answers to all questions asked in writing and we'll post them online within 4 weeks, along with the minutes of this meeting. For privacy reasons, we can't answer questions that relate to an individual's personal account details or circumstances, as you would understand. So we do have a couple of questions, and I'll read them out. The first one is, are there any financial concerns over payment of pensions? Are all contributions being paid? And Saffron, if I can ask you to take that question.
Thanks, Mark. As mentioned earlier, the funding position of the fund was quite healthy at 31 December 2021. And I can confirm that the contributions have been paid by the university in accordance with my recommendations. Thanks, Mark.
Okay, thank you very much. So there's another question, which has the recent poor performance of investment markets impacted the funded position of the fund?
Yes, Mark. That's mine again. There has been a fairly large drop in asset values this year due to poor investment returns. It's been approximately negative 8.5% for the 5 months to 31 May. But as the fund was in a healthy financial position at 31 December 2021, due to strong double-digit returns in 2021, I believe the financial position is still satisfactory, and we will be checking the position after the quarter end to see whether any changes to contribution recommendations are required.
Thanks, Saffron. Appreciate that. So that's all of the questions that we have today. So to those members who have submitted questions, the board would like to thank you, and we hope that they've been properly addressed for you. So I'd like to thank you for your time and attendance today, and we hope you found this useful and informative. A video of this meeting with the minutes and written responses to all questions asked will be available on the website within 4 weeks. And so I'll finish by thanking you and wishing you a wonderful day.